The name's Diver, Alex Diver. And I'm a detective in a big city on the edge of nowhere. Lived here my whole life, never seen the same accident twice. Night rolls into this town real easy, kind of like a sledgehammer coming down on a tomato. And tomatoes is where it all began. I never knew her name, just the cut of her dress, the color of her eyes, and the way her mouth twitched when she told those funny little lies. I wasn't doing much of anything the night she came. Just sitting in my office, counting the cracks in the walls, and wondering where the next paycheck would come from. And then she walked in. Right away, I knew I was in trouble. She was a looker, all right, from head to toe. I leaned back in my chair, put out my cigarette, and said, "Nice dress."
Pardon me?
Sorry, miss. Have a seat. What can I do to you?
I'm sorry.
For you. What can I do for you?
You're a detective.
Where'd you hear that?
Your sign out front, it says you're a detective.
What of it?
Nothing.
You believe everything you read?
No.
But you'd like to.
Yes, I would.
All right. Better come clean with me up front. Is there anything else you're not telling me?
Several things.
Name two.
Well, I have a birth record on my right ear.
And?
I blew up a train once when I was a teenager.
Good. Now what can I do for you?
Well, I seem to have lost something of importance.
Can you describe this something?
I'm afraid not.
Don't be afraid, just tell me.
I can't.
This was going to be harder than it looked. Is it bigger than a bread box?
I'm not sure.
Does it start with the letter W?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, no sweat, miss. We'll have it back to you in no time. At this point, I had no idea what I was saying.
Tomorrow.
Huh?
I need it by tomorrow.
Listen, lady, just to remember who's in charge here. I've been in this business longer than you've been blowing up trains. Bet you forgot about that, didn't ya?
No.
Listen, I get to the meat of things. I take my time and I dig up a lot of dirt along the way. I work at my own pace.
I'll pay you $5,000.
What time tomorrow?
By midnight.
No sweat. I am, however, going to need an advance.
Well, how much?
$20? Wait. How do I find you?
I'll find you, Mr. Diver. I liked you right when I met you.
I appreciate your confidence, but, what is it I'm looking for again?
Just follow the money, Mr. Diver. Just follow the money.
Right now, the money seemed to be walking out the front door. It was then that I noticed she had left a business card on my desk. Maybe she dropped it out of her purse. Maybe she left it as an afterthought. On one side it said, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free." And that could mean just about anyone. But on the other side it said two words, "Lady Liberty." I decided this case is going to be real interesting. Not a good kind of interesting either. Kind of like coal mining with a spoon. Not a real big spoon either. I'm talking the real little kind. The ones you use on 2-minute eggs. You know what I mean. I decided to celebrate my good fortune by having a drink down at Jake's Bar and Grill. A lot of time, word on the street travels down that way, like sludge into a cesspool. It was a real nice place, like Alcatraz after hours.
I'll do something for you, mister.
Yeah, give me a scotch.
Angus.
Actually, make it a beer. Follow the money, she said. Whatever could that mean? I decided to give it a shot. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for a guy.
Hey, buddy. I'm busy, okay?
Have you seen this man?
I said I'm busy.
How about this guy?
What you got? A hearing problem?
How about him?
Look, pal, a lot of guys walk in here. A lot of guys walk out of here. I can't be expected to remember every single one.
Do any of these guys look familiar to you?
No. Sorry. Wish I could help you out. This guy might know. What to say. Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now. But my memory's still a little sluggish. Sure. That's Alexander Hamilton. That's Lincoln. Dave Lincoln, National George Washington.
They come in here a lot?
Never.
You know where I can find them?
Maybe. Try City Hall.
High connections?
Could be.
All right. I'll check that out.
All right then.
I'll see you around.
I bet you will.
Are you purposely trying to get the last word in here?
No.
Guess I'll have to believe you.
Fine by me.
Keep the change.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
I didn't have much to go on. Just a few names and some connections at City Hall. Hamilton, Washington, some guy named Link. I've heard of these guys before. Midnight tomorrow is looking awfully close, so I decided to call it a night. After all, that's what it was. First thing the next day, I made my way down to City Hall. A good night's sleep had made all the difference. Now, I was twice as confused. As I walked in, the cute little thing behind the desk gave me the side eye. Sort of like Jack the Ripper had just stepped into her life.
Can I help you?
Could be. I'm looking for who's in charge of this place. Who's the big cheese here?
I'm sorry, the mayor's incommunicado.
Ah, I've been there. Nice beaches.
His assistants are all tied up.
Wonderful. What kind of knots did you use?
I could let you speak to the vice president of interior decorating sometime next August.
And who would that be?
Me.
I was losing ground faster than a landslide. Listen, Lois, I need some information.
There's a library down the street. I'll lend you my card.
Very funny. You ever heard of a guy named Washington?
You ever heard of leaving through the front door? Now beat it.
I decided to use my charm on her. Want a piece of gum?
Want to get your smarmy personality out of my office before I nail your butt to the wall?
You don't like me very much, do you?
I can think of things I like more. Coronaries, for example.
Say, you're pretty cute. How about you and me make plans in a big way?
How about you get your butt off my desk and out of here?
I had but one more trick up my sleeve.
Can I help you?
I'm here to clean the windows.
Go on up.
Buddy Snowjob had been the mayor of this city for the past 5 consecutive terms. In that time, nobody had registered any formal complaints against his office, at least none that could be traced. I knew he wasn't about to talk to a detective from the wrong side of the tracks, so I did something I almost never do when I'm on the job. I lied.
Report.
Mayor Snowjob!
What can I do for you, friend?
I'm a reporter from the Amalgamated Press. You've been nominated Public Servant of the Century.
Why is that good?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, then that's just swell.
I was wondering if you mind answering a few questions for the American people.
Not at all.
All right. What can you tell me about your office?
Well, it's about 15 feet wide, 12 feet long, and that's not including a little vestibule out front.
I see. Well, what exactly is the thrust of your administration?
To serve and protect.
Isn't that what the police do?
That too.
All right. Well, you're in charge of the place, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Well, then who is?
Why? The people.
For who?
Why? For the people.
That sounds like a conflict of interest to me.
Indeed it is. You just tell me what it is you want to hear. You just speak the thought and I'll finish it for you.
All right. Now is the time for all good men.
To get out and vote.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It tolls for thee.
Life could be a dream.
Shaboom, shaboom.
Say, you're pretty good.
Oh, that's nothing. You should hear me when I improvise. Friends and citizens of this fair city, as I have stated many times, I am deeply touched. As you've heard me state so many times, I here will repeat myself, as you've heard me say many times. I stand behind this party, and for the repugnance which it stands, I will take no further questions at this time, except to say that I categorically deny any and all wrongdoing. That is to say, I was not a part of, am not aware of, cannot remember, and therefore cannot be held accountable for this great nation of ours. Thank you, and good fishing.
Is this man bothering you, Mr. Mayor?
What man? Which man? This man?
We heard somebody was up here asking a lot of questions.
Well, that certainly is frowned upon in this building. If you find that man, throw him out on his ear.
We certainly will, Mr. Mayor.
Well, friend, I've got to be running off at the mouth. I have a screen test in California and a concert on the East Coast. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Without a love of my own.
Hello, Diva. What's the story?
Seems like you're having a hard time finding your way out.
Maybe we can show you what the sidewalk looks like. Close up.
Well, well, Noleski and Goosebreath Moosejaw. What would you two sterling examples of humanity be doing in this neck of the woods?
Doing nothing, Diver. You're the one that's doing too much.
Nice excuse for a sense of humor, no lips. I'll see myself out.
I don't think so, Diver. I think you need a little instruction. See you around.
Yeah, around.
Jesus criminy, what happened to you?
A couple of guys tried to get tough with me. I had to whack their knees around with my lips.
Well, you better get out of here before worse things happen.
Yeah? What are they gonna do? Break my other leg?
Listen, you know the old schoolhouse on Maple and 7th?
Yeah?
Meet me there at 5 p.m. I got something to show you.
Can we make it a little later? I may be in traction this afternoon.
Just be there and don't get any funny ideas. This is business. Dirty business. You okay?
Peachy.
Here.
I felt like my head had been split open with a baseball bat and sewn back together with a darning needle. I didn't look too hot either. The lady in green had told me to follow the money, and I followed it all right. I learned a thing or two along the way. First, our mayor's a pea-brain, and worse off, he's hanging with the wrong crowd. Noleski and Goosebreath Moosejaw work for one of the sleaziest operators in town, a fellow named Philip G. Manabat, a.k.a. the Fat Guy. The Fat Guy was the worst kind of crook. Everything he did was wrong, but nobody could touch him. He was wrong like an out-of-tune clarinet. Wrong like a striped tie with a plaid suit. 5 o'clock was still several hours away. I had time to go see a guy. Harry Weisenheimer and I had grown up together in the old neighborhood. One time, I saved his mother from drowning in a vat of chicken and dumpling soup. He never forgot that, but I knew he'd help me out anyhow. These days, Harry was working as a reporter for the Daily Sun. If anyone could tell me what I needed to know, it was him.
Hello,
Alex. You look like crap. What can I do for you?
Big news, Harry. 2 thugs named No Lips and Goosebreath are doing their sparring practice down at City Hall this week.
What's in it to me?
Last I heard, they was working for the fat guy.
Who?
Don't be stupid, Harry. The fat guy. If you found out he has bought into the mayor's office, we'd get you the scoop of the century.
Yeah? What's in it for you?
I'm working in the dark these days, Harry. I need somebody to shine a little light on the situation. Blow the lid off this thing.
Sorry, no can do. I got no room. Got funny pages, personal ads, ladies' lingerie, obituaries. No room to put it.
Harry, it's news!
I'll tell you what's news, Alex. You give me a picture of some cutie with her skirt blowing up around her armpits. Now that's news.
What happened to you, Harry? You used to care about this rag.
I'll tell you what happened to me, mister. Get to the bottom of things. I started using my head. If I print that story, my paper will shut down overnight.
So they got to you too, huh?
Nobody got to me. Besides, I already printed the opposite of that story.
Huh?
This morning's edition, front page. Mayor disavows all knowledge of that guy's existence. No way, no how. You read it here.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, we'll do it outside. I just cleaned up in here.
Harry, you gotta give me something. I wanna nail this bum.
I don't gotta give you nothing. You could have let my mother drown in that bowl of chicken soup, but no. You had to save her. I owe you nothing, because ever since that day, my life's been a living nightmare.
Harry was right. His mother was a pain in the rear. But right now, I had bigger fish to fry. Trouble was breathing down my neck and stepping on the backs of my shoes. And nobody does that to Alex either. Especially not an abstract noun. I wandered around town for a while, trying to figure out who else was involved in this case and how much they didn't know. 5 p.m. found me outside the old schoolhouse. I thought I was about to reel in one more red herring when finally my pal arrived. Hiya, sweetness.
Watch it, Buster. I'm here as a favor to humanity, and that don't include you.
I bet you're real fun on a date. Kind of like cuddling up next to a rabid porcupine.
You want to keep up with the smart talk, or you want to see what goes on around here?
By all means, let's get this over with as quickly as possible. Lois led me into the schoolhouse and down a set of stairs into a back room where a kid was sitting all alone making paper airplanes out of the pages of an old textbook. So what are we doing here?
I teach part-time, volunteer work. This is one of my kids. Say hello to Mr. Diver, kid.
Hello, Mr. Dipper.
Hi, kid. What's new on the playground?
Eat my shorts.
Nice mouth. You teach them that?
It gets worse. We're working on Moby Dick this week.
The book?
The title. Wanna try it?
No.
Please, just for me.
Alright, fine. Moby Dick.
Again.
Dopey Mick.
Again.
Mohawk Dave.
Close enough.
That didn't sound too close to me.
You wanna try it?
Sure. Listen here, kid. Teacher says you can't learn the title of this book, but me, I say different. I say you got it in you. So, one more time, let me hear it. What's the name of this book?
Origin of the Species.
We got a problem here. How many more are like him?
Thousands.
Say, he looks familiar. Why is that?
His picture's been in all the newspapers lately. He's the brain-damaged half-child of Philip G. Manabat.
You don't mean...
That's right, Einstein. The fat guy.
A lot of things are beginning to make sense. I'd follow the money right into the bowels of the educational system, And what's more, I had a direct link to the fat guy. I began to wonder how it all led back to the lady in green, and what the heck kind of sense it all made.
Well, this is me.
Thanks, Toots. You've been swell. Yeah?
I just thought maybe you might want to come upstairs for a drink or something.
I'm flattered, but, I'm bad news. The less you see of me, the better. I'll tell you what, though. Once this whole thing blows over, I'll give you a call.
Don't do me any favors, Sluggo. I got guys waiting around the block.
Yeah? Guess I'll just have to hop in line and take my chances.
Hey, be careful.
Careful's my middle name, Toots. Actually, my middle name was Maurice, but I don't see why she needed to know that. I made my way home to my apartment to change my shirt and waited out until dark. When I got there, I found out that the door had been tampered with. Inside were two thugs I was less than nuts about spending the evening with. Well, well, Police Lieutenant Dentz and Sergeant Bullyboy Mulroy. To what do I owe this unexpected intrusion?
Hello there, Alex. Long time no see.
Yeah, I've been counting the days.
We tried to enter place of business, but there was no one there. You should get yourself a secretary. Otherwise, people might assume you're out of work.
I had a secretary, till she ran off to Guadalajara with half my life savings and a contortionist from Cedar Rapids. Ever since, I've been a little leery of the hired help. Now what can I do for you two schmoes besides throwing you out of here?
Why, I oughta.
Easy, Mulroy.
Yeah, easy, you big gorilla. I don't like cops breaking into my house, least of all dumb animals like yourself.
You just keep talking, smart guy. You don't know half the trouble you're in.
How about you tell me about it, Banana Breath, providing you get all the right words in the correct order.
Why, I oughta.
That'll do, Sergeant. No need to get tough with the Seamus. Diver here knows to stay away from certain people once he's been asked nicely enough.
Yeah? And who's that?
We heard you've been sniffing out all the wrong action. We'd like you to sniff out some other things as a form of insurance.
Insurance against what?
Against waking up in some lagoon with blocks of cement around both of you.
Are you threatening me, Lieutenant?
I'm not threatening you, Alex. I come to you as a friend. Did you hear me threaten this man, Sergeant?
I didn't hear nothing.
I suppose it wouldn't be any interest to you two to learn that the fat guy is bought to the mayor's office and the newspapers of this town, and the education system, and who knows what else. But I suppose that wouldn't be worth looking into.
Fat guy? Who ever heard of any fat guy? That's just a story, Alex. You don't really exist. You know of any fat guy, Mulroy?
I don't know nothing.
You wouldn't know anything if it came up and bit you on the nose, you big palooka.
Why, you?
Now look what you've done, Alex. You've gone and fallen down over your nice, clean kitchen floor. What are you, drunk or something? You gotta be more careful. One of these days you might stumble off a tall building. I'll check in on you later.
Why, I oughta.
You already did, Sergeant.
Oh, right.
I was considering another line of work, like becoming a kamikaze pilot. Just then, the phone rang. Diver's body and parts.
Mr. Diver, it's me.
Something like bells went off in my head. Hello, me. You've got a lot of explaining to do.
I'm in great danger, Mr. Diver. You gotta meet me at Lawrence Central.
And I'm in great pain. Perhaps we should form a club.
You gotta help me, Mr. Diver. You just got to.
All right. Don't get so worked up. I'll be there by 9.
There's something you gotta know right now, though.
And then I heard the sound of tires screeching, gunshots, and the line went dead. This case was really starting to irk me. I felt like I'd been put in a Wurlitzer blender with a box of nails. Not small nails either. I'm talking those big double-headed guys you buy at Ludwig's Hardware for $1.98 a box. You know what I'm talking about. I made my way down to the restaurant on Lawrence Street. I kind of hoped that I'd drop dead along the way before someone else could take a jab at me, but no such luck. It was 9 o'clock and there was no sign of my girl. Then 9:15, 9:30, 9:45. Just then, 2 guys walked in who I'd hoped I'd never see again in this lifetime. They sat themselves right by the front door, and I had no way to escape. I decided to take a gamble at the depths of their intelligences, which I judged to be just this side of 2 inches. I was being overly generous. Good evening, gentlemen. How can I help you?
Yeah, we'd like 2 burgers and a medium-sized shake and Coke.
All right. Will that be all?
No.
Nope. Now that you mention it, bring us some French fries too, and chocolate sundae.
2.
Yeah, 2 chocolate sundaes.
All right. Will that be all?
No.
No. We'd like. What else would we like?
Another shake.
2 more shakes, 2 more burgers, another order of fries, and
Some meatloaf.
I don't think they serve meatloaf here, Goosebreath.
But I want some.
Okay, 2 meatloafs, 4 baked potatoes, a couple of tossed salads, and some applesauce.
All right. Will that be all?
No.
I'd
I
like
want
a
a
small
double
pepperoni
BLT with
pizza with
extra ham
anchovies
and
and
some
some
coleslaw,
garlic bread.
more
Bring me a
meatloaf,
couple of
lots
beers,
more
some
meatloaf.
of that
It's a mashed
banana
potato.
cream pie.
It's
What else you got?
Yeah.
4 more hamburgers,
Four
a strawberry
more
malted,
hamburgers,
3
it's
orders
a
of
lobster,
French toast
and a
with some
bunch
eggs,
of ice cream in a
easy,
bowl,
and a turkey,
roasted,
a lot
lots
of
of
white
hot
meat
sauce
and
and
cranberry
apple
sauce
chicken
and
on
an olive.
All right. Will that be all?
You know, you ask a lot of questions, except it's just the same one, over and over. Wait a minute, you look familiar. Don't you look familiar, Goosebreath?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you look like that guy from the movies. What was it? The Big Snooze? Was that you?
I was almost beginning to like these guys. No, that wasn't me.
You know, I still can't figure out who killed the chauffeur.
Say, fellas, what are you gonna do with all this food?
We'll eat it.
Yeah, and what we don't eat, we throw away. Just charge it to the fat guy.
And what address?
Well, I mean, I can't just tell you that. Like, if I were to say that the fat guy lives at 1201 Excess Drive, I could get in some real trouble, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas, I'll have that out for you in a jiffy. I went through the kitchen and out the back door. There was a song in my heart and a smile on my face. I had finally gotten my break. Little did I know, it was going to be my last. 1201 Excess Drive turned out to be a vacant lot on the bad side of town. Somebody might have lived there once, but if they did, they'd taken all the buildings with them. I had considered the possibility that maybe I'd been set up, but I was in too deep to turn back now. It was dark out, and the air had a funny smell to it, kind of like horse manure roasting over an open fire. I pulled out my flashlight to get a better appraisal of the situation. It was then that I realized I was standing smack dab in the middle of the city dump. I could see refrigerators and cars and old copies of National Geographic, lawnmowers and washing machines and shoes somebody had worn once but thrown out because they didn't like the color. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the fat guy did live here. I made my way through the garbage, about to pass out from the smell, till I came to the back of the yard. There, I could see how all the trash piled up and flowed out into a river and pushed downstream. I walked along the banks for what felt like hours, till I saw how the river emptied into a large underground tunnel. I followed it, wading through the trash and bad water till I surfaced into the hall of a huge open building. Suddenly, I knew exactly where I was, where all the filth and debris, all the trash and unwanted waste of society finally ends up. A television studio.
Say, buddy, what do you think you're doing here?
I must have took a wrong turn somewhere.
Well, you need to clear out here. Got a show in 2 minutes.
What kind of show?
Good, wholesome family entertainment. Let's get this thing rolling.
Suddenly, the room began to fill with people. Some of them I even recognized. Lois! Lois!
Hello there, Alex. Long time no see. Have a seat.
No thanks. I'll stand. Maybe not.
Ladies and gentlemen, at home in our studio audience, please give a big round of applause for the man behind the Absolution Plan and our favorite representative of God. Give it up for Reverend Rudy Bankhead!
Thank you, audience, for that warm welcome. I was talking to this fellow the other day, and he said, Reverend Bankhead, I'd like you to take all of my money. So I did. Now, let's take a moment to pray to our Lord Jesus Christ. Oh Lord, eternal in heaven, thanks for the green stuff.
Thank you.
Now, we come to the part of our program devoted to healing those crippled that have the good fortune to stand among us normal, upstanding folk. Is there anyone in the audience tonight in need of the Lord's divine intervention? Well, come on down, son. Now, what can the Lord help you with?
I don't know.
He don't know, ladies and gentlemen. He don't know. Well, the Lord will help you to know. Lord, heal this sinner. Heal. Heal. Are there any more suffering maggots in the audience tonight?
I am.
Well, come on down. Now, what disease seems to be harbored in your tainted flesh?
I am guilty of having lost faith in my government, in my religion, and in myself.
Well, the Lord will help you, a member of the fairer sex. Heal this hussy. Heal! Heal! So how do you feel?
Not much better.
Now, the Lord tells me there is another suffering maggot in the audience tonight. Show your face before Jesus and national television. You, sir, come on down.
No thanks. Really, I was just leaving.
Come on, Alex, it'll be good for you.
Come on, Mr. Devor.
I feel fine. Really.
But there is guilt in your voice and confusion in your gaze. Lord, heal this Roman, for he is guilty of the sin of pride, or misguided service, or putting himself above his fellow man. Lord, look down upon this bargain basement reject of a human. Heal, heal.
Suddenly, the room around me began to spin. The voices behind me began to fade, and I began to fall into a pool of darkness. Not a real big pool either. I'm talking 2 foot 6 inches. And the water's filled with chlorine and kids' toys and you know what I mean.
Good evening, Mr. Diver. Morning, I should say.
What hit me?
A large hardbound edition of the Holy Bible. Revised Standard English.
Felt more like a truckload of bricks.
I believe it included the Apocrypha.
Where am I?
You're at the end of the road, Mr. Diver. I did try to warn you, but you had to go on this wild goose chase of yours. Well, now your goose is cooked.
It wasn't that hard to find you. All I had to do was open the window and inhale. The aroma led me straight to you.
Very good, sir. But I know the truth. You had no idea what you were looking for or who you were after. It's not just me, son. It's the whole darn town.
Yeah, sure it is. I know your type. You think you can buy people in their dreams like so much sauerkraut over the deli counter. Well, I'll tell you what. One day you're gonna run into somebody who you can't buy.
Not in this lifetime, sir. And let me tell you about the way the world works, Mr. Diver. These are my hands. With them, I can cut lumber, build cities, construct bridges between warring continents. They are tools, as is my intellect. Morality, or a passive for such these days, is an encumbrance. A burden thrown around by men who no longer believe the words they speak. You may choose to believe these invisible devices, but for me, no sir. The sky's the limit. Gentlemen, bring the lady in.
Well, well, Alice in Wonderland. With Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
Hello, Mr. Diver. Did they hurt you very much?
Only enough to get my attention.
I never meant to rope you into this.
How does she figure into all of this?
We picked her up after your last phone call. I figured that with a little motivation, you'd go straight to her like a lapdog to his mistress.
You set me up!
No!
Yes.
Well, no, not intentionally.
I want to hear the truth for a change. You haven't told me one thing about yourself that wasn't glossed over with lies and deception. I want to hear the truth, and I want to hear it from you. The truth! The truth!
I can't say it.
Easy, my friend.
Look, you gotta tell me what's going on here. I want to know the truth.
She and I have known each other for a very long time, Mr. Diver. On the most intimate possible terms.
You don't mean?
Yes, she is the mother of my offspring. The brain-damaged half-child of Philip G. Manabat.
He's lying. It isn't so. It isn't.
Come now, dear. There's no point in hiding it any longer.
Tell him the truth, you monster.
Whoa, lady! Put down the gun!
Stay back.
Whoa! Careful, you might hurt somebody! And it all happened in a matter of seconds. The fat man went for his gun, and the lady shot him. His gun went off and hit No Lips. No Lips shot the lady, and Goosebreath shot himself. I guess that'll teach you to play with firearms.
They had it coming. They all did.
Well, it's like they say. Death comes as an end to a whole bunch of other stuff.
Kiss me one last time, Mr. Diver.
It was an odd request, seeing as I couldn't remember the first time. But I thought, what the heck? She's dying and I wasn't about to correct her.
I liked you right away, Mr. Diver. Bye.
And that was that. The police had a lot of questions, none of which I could answer very well, but they didn't seem too concerned. I went home that night and tried to sleep it off. I hoped it would have been a bad dream. No such luck. I never did find out who the lady who called herself Liberty was, or what it was the lady in green had once possessed but come to lose. She still haunts me, like an old song. One might even say I carry a torch for her. Not a real big torch per se, just something you can see from a distance. Say 150, 175 feet on a clear night. If there were no buildings in the way, you know what I mean.
Goodbye, Miss Dorothy Lord.
Well, howdy, people. As you know, I am the trial and the TV announcer, but my real name is Joey Rock. I was, of course, the most important character in this thing. Now, of course, I'm going to introduce everyone else. First, we have Ridge and Nikita. Ridge plays Mary. Louise and Eric. Next off, we have the Goons. This would be Jesse and Justice. Lieutenant Dentz and Noleski. Next, we have the two most important characters, right after me. Crais and Rylee. Crais played Sergeant Bullyboy, Mulroy, and the bad guy, while Rylee played Lady and Reverend Rudy. Now, of course, for the least important person, Luke, who played Tiger, I guess. that is not all. We also have the crew to thank, this being Emily Hale, Eve, and Matt Williams.